The reason why I'm leaving is because I got a better job. Um, I started here as a RCS. Then they told me that they see me doing promotions and being in leadership things, but that didn't happen. I ended up being a security officer, which I had no training in, um, no certifications, and it was somebody else who had the certifications and training to do it. Weird, but I did it to the best of my ability. Learned some stuff, got trained on it with money out of my pocket. Didn't get trained out of here. Um, then I got transferred to the front desk, which it was something that I literally said I didn't want to do. Um, with that responsibility, I had to do a snack drawer. I'm gonna show y'all my snack drawer. Oh, come on. There we go. That's the snack drawer. I made it set up just like the airport. Let me turn it around. Let's make that compost. No. Okay, let's do this again. Sorry. Y'all stay with me. Okay. So yeah, answering phone calls, doing intakes. Um, no, they limit intakes now. Doing extensions. Helping with case management laws. A lot, y'all, a lot. Um, for a low price. And which is cool if it was something, you know, if I was going into the right direction, like I was told. But that didn't happen, y'all. Um, they wanted me to stay at a desk. That's what they wanted me to stay at a desk. They had lost the person who was a female who was at the front desk, and they thought that I would be a good fit because I'm a female at the front desk, knowing that I'm a hands-on person. That I deal with the public, and case management is what I came from. Came from doing before coming in here. So, long story short, okay, long story short, I ended up getting a better job, which was cool. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna drop down to because they promised me if I didn't like the job, gotta be careful. Let me shut this door. Let me shut the door. Okay, so they promised me that if I didn't like the job doing the front desk and everything, I could go back to being resident staff in 30 days. That did not happen. Okay, I ended up staying there for months. And although, I got to pick my schedule, I had a choice to either come in, earlier and not do the 8 to 5. So I was able to pick a morning schedule. I had plans on going into case management, and that didn't open up for me, but it opened up somewhere else. And like I said, so I was like, I'm gonna drop down to RCS one day because that's what I told my manager. So as soon as that happened, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we can't do it, even though they have the wide open availability, even though they definitely need a need because they're short everywhere. And they previously have done this before. They've created schedules or created times for people. Now, I don't have any write-ups. I had one PIP like months ago. It's erased, so I'm in good standing. I try my best to leave any place or anything, keep it in good standing. So there was no need for me to have any issues. So I asked them like, hey, you know, can I, am I eligible to go down to part time? They told me just give me your schedule. We'll be able to try to work something out. So when I gave them the schedule, I asked them the schedule that was needed that I got permission from the supervisor on that shift, and I asked them what was the lowest days, the days that they need the most. Okay, because I come in between the third and the first shift because I made my own hours, and so he gives it to me, and um, I give that to him, and I turn them in, and like, okay, this is the time that they said they were open. So they waited until this was at the end of the month. They waited till the first and said, we would love to accommodate you, but we don't have enough to put a person that's part time um, over here. So I was just like, oh, okay, and I had to leave it, leave it like that because you don't want to go back and forth anyway. And to be honest, the job that I have now that is going full time, it's giving me what I want in the same field. Now, even though I know they bull crapping, even though I've known before that they create schedules, they will create a job for you if there's room. In my head, I feel like um, there is, because they're telling me, oh, we would love to have you, we would love to have you, but something in your gut will tell you if somebody is genuine or not, and I don't feel that genuineness, so, and I don't try to front that, so what I did was just leave it alone, because I've seen it before. Not only that, they didn't even give me the pay that they told me that they were going to give me, so I had to think about that too, like, why fret over a place that's not going to respect or honor their word as far as giving your pay. So, yeah, so that was why I decided to leave. But I had to make this video because, during this time, sometimes people will be like, oh, people don't want jobs, people don't want this and that. That's not true. For the most part, it's not true. There are quite a bit of people who sit there and be lazy and do all this other kind of stuff, but everybody is not like that. Some of these jobs come out here because they're short and they want to manipulate other people because they're short. They're short, so they want to try to take advantage of you as any way possible. And I'm not saying taking advantage. Okay, and so I don't want to say taking advantage. Um, it's not always a bad thing. You want to get the best and the most out of your employees, but you don't want to do it at the cost of not being integrable. If you tell me that something is supposed to happen, I'm expecting that to happen, and I shouldn't get retaliated against because I'm telling you, I want what was in the agreement. It's a law-abiding contract, and so. And don't get upset. People they'll get really smiley with you, like, oh, they're happy, but in reality, they're not. Because I was having all these kind of, you know, little side comments, which at this point I didn't care because I'm getting to do what I'm supposed to do, what I was called to do. I went about it the right way, even to the point of leaving on good terms. But yeah, some people that's just how it goes sometimes. That is just how it goes sometimes. Some of these people, some of these institutions, they lie. They lie. And when that happens, I don't care what it is, who it is. When you see that happening, don't sit and wait around. Don't feel bad. Because some people will be laughing at you at first, but once you start finding other ways to get yourself successful, finding other ways to be happy and to get what you want, they're not going to be laughing too long. I've seen that time and time again. And usually when that happens, when organizations, y'all, I don't be playing with my little snack jars now. I'll be thinking I'm still on the plane. Okay? I'm thinking I'm still on the plane. Hold on. Hold on. Okay? You come here. But anywho, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about it. Because like I said, people, they'll clown you at first. And they'll say little stuff that being a quit. But listen, when you work on yourself, and that's what I did. I constantly took, classes on learning more. You can always learn more. Work on yourself. If they don't want to give you what you ask for, a position or something like that, or they say you're not qualified, okay, work on yourself to get it. If that's what you really want, you're going to work for it. Work on yourself until you can get it. And if you don't have what it takes, some people can be bullying and you don't. You really do have what it takes. But that's okay too. Work even harder. Work even harder. So when you do show up, they don't got nothing else to say. They're going to be looking all kind of crazy. Yeah, they're going to be looking all kind of crazy. So, and when I say all kind of crazies, all kind of crazies. So don't, like I said, don't get upset by that. Don't don't get knocked down by liars. Eventually it comes out. You'll see it every time when somebody doesn't do what they say. Or, you'll see it out of the outcomes of how people go about and do things in the daily functions, and especially in an organization. You'll see it. You'll see the shortness of staff. You'll see it in a lot of outcomes. So don't get upset. Just work on yourself and try to get better. And even if you mess up, keep working on yourself. One door closed, another one, I promise you, another one will open. Another thing is, if you do get promoted, thank you whoever gave me that thumbs up. When you do get promoted, let me tell you something. Don't tell people nothing. They want to know all of a sudden, where you work at, I sent them, at first I wouldn't even tell them. Then I sent them in a whole entirely different direction, okay? Because I know what I'm dealing with. Some people want to hold me back just because. Some people really wanted to hold me back just because I was showing up and saying, hey, this is not right. Hey, we work at a shelter. We don't have a safety plan. Like, who doesn't have a safety plan in any organization, in any business? We don't even have an evacuation plan. How is this, you showing up every time. They trying to say, oh yeah, you too weak for this because you're in the male facility. You too weak for this, but you showing up every single time. Don't get upset. They can't knock down stuff like that, but they'll try, and they'll try to find out, knock down your future. That's why you don't tell them where the heck you go. You tell them something totally different. So when they going in that direction, making a fool of themselves, you done went on and got what you needed. By the time they find out what you're doing, it's already done. It's already done. Okay? So, that's what I wanted to share, y'all. Yeah, they be lying, but the good thing about that is that when you tell the truth and you're truthful about yourself and what you bring to the table and about the products that you give, and when I say products that you give, your products of service, the knowledge that you give and to give out to the residents, to give out to the people, to show up every day. That's your products, your services that you give to mankind. When you show up every time and you keep working on that, there's no stopping you. No one can say no. There's gonna be doors open. And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys. My hand's looking real messed up. It's been sweaty too, y'all. Real sweaty, but that's okay. I'm gonna get off of here. Hopefully something said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Bye.